up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about all the maps that are going to be available in Black Ops 7. We just got a list of all of them. We're also going to show you which ones are going to be available in the beta. There's going to be 6 of them that we can play during the beta. Let's not waste any time. Make sure you like the video, drop a sub for all the content we're going to have on Black Ops 7, and let's get into the video. All right, so real quick, before we get into this, we're just going to go over the list of them real fast. We're going to have Blackheart, Cortex, Exposure, Imprint, The Forge, and Toshin, which are all going to be in the beta. These are all brand new maps that we've never seen before. Colossus, Den, Flagship, Homestead, Paranoia, Retrieval, and Scar are also brand new maps, but won't be in the game till launch. And then Express, Hijacked, and Raid are all returning from Black Ops 2 and will be in the game for launch. So these first 6 maps are what we're going to be able to play in the beta. We're also getting 2 maps that are going to be dedicated to the new skirmish mode, which is going to be 20v20. I'm not 100% sure the mechanics of how the game's going to play, but it's going to be a new mode that we're getting when the game launches. That's going to be Mission Edge and Mission Tide. So we're getting a ton of maps and a ton of content that's going to be playable at launch. And then, like I said, 6 of these maps will be playable in beta. So the first map we're going to talk about is Blackheart. It's a core 6v6 small size map that's going to be playable in the beta. It says head out to sea on a drilling platform, extracting essential resources for the guild. The guild's going to be a big part of Black Ops 7. Battle on and around the central drill or duke it out on the barrage around mineral containers, pumps, and massive nautical vehicles. Flank enemies around the diving bell and watch your feet when jumping over the grinder pit. That sounds kind of crazy. All right, so this is the bigger zoomed in version of what we were just looking at. Definitely going to have some like outer platforms and stuff that you'll probably spawn back here, and there will be a lot of fighting on these outer platforms. And then you're going to have some inner portions like this and this that are going to be where a lot of those like mid-map fights are going to happen. Obviously, there's water, but we have no idea if you'll be able to jump in and swim or if that's just going to be an instant death. And you can see here in the middle, there's going to be a ton of places where you can do like little wall jump things off of as well. Like right here, this platform, you're going to jump from here to here to here, here to here to here. There's going to be a lot of places where you can do a lot of these new wall jump mechanics. All right, next is Cortex. It's going to be a core 6v6 small size map again. A cliffside compound hides a clandestine laboratory conducting experimental research for the guild. VAT chambers hold subjects suspended in fluid. That's these things right here. The area is supported by an adjoining autopsy and morgue. It's kind of dark. Lock down the underpass to control the heart of the map or branch out to the narrow sky bridge overlooking the water. So here's the bigger blown up version of Cortex. It's kind of hard to see because some of these angles don't really show it, but it's definitely going to be like an interior map. And then you're going to have some outer portions and stuff. And then here's that sky bridge they're talking about that overlooks the water. There's going to be some fights that happen down this lane. Overall, should be an interesting map. We'll see how it actually ends up playing out. All right, next up is Exposure, a core 6v6 medium-sized map. This one's fully outdoors with some buildings that you can run into. Deploy to an Australian outback installation at the eye of a vast solar array in the aftermath of a fierce tank assault on the plant. There's some tanks here. Except for an interior control room, most of the action is focused on the outer grounds here. Try your luck traversing the suspended guild crate, jumping from here to the yellow ladder to climb even higher. So that's going to be this crate right here. We'll look at it when we blow it up bigger. Also expect a variety of towers, pumps, and storage units provide ample cover throughout. So now that we've got this blown up bigger, this is where that suspended crate, the guild crate, is going to be. It looks like it's hanging from a drone, and then you're going to be able to run and jump from that to a yellow ladder somewhere, probably to this tower right here. They also talked about like containers and stuff that you'd be able to run around. So I'm wondering how much of this map is going to be playable. Probably all of it, all the way out to like these solar arrays. Then obviously you've got the tank here showing that this was like a tank battle. I don't think the tank's going to be playable. And then you'll have some indoor areas that you can obviously play through as well. All right, next we've got Imprint, which is going to be a core 6v6 medium-sized map. It looks very snowy and wintry. It says brave the frigid cold on this mid-sized robotics complex, producing drones and battle tanks for the guild. Explore the inner facility branching through the center and watch your step along the sheer drops, circling the perimeter. So it sounds like you're going to be able to go around the perimeter of the building where long range combat dominates. So snipers and stuff. Press the control panels by the inclinator for a lift through the snow. Interesting. This is like reminiscent of a map we've had before, I think, that was like kind of a snowy place with like a big building in the middle. You spawned on the outsides. Now that we've got this blown up a little bit, you can kind of see it's going to be this big, massive complex that you're going to have to work your way through, but there will be some fights that you can take on the outsides here, but you got to be careful with the cliffs. Obviously, here's some of the inside stuff where they're making drones and battle tanks and whatnot. And then it looks like there's going to be some like interior stuff where you might have to worry about falling all the way down, but definitely some places where you can do some wall jumps as well. All right, next we've got The Forge, which is another core 6v6 medium-sized map. It says visit the heart of research and development for the guild's latest lethal tech. Built on the harbor, the Forge welcomes visitors with a demo and product lobby showcasing the latest advancements in autonomous weapon design. That's a long sentence. Navigate the 2 wings of the complex, joined by covered walkways and the central range where rotating walls circle a defense turret. Now that we've got this blown up, I wonder if these are the walls that are rotating around a circle. The central turret is what they're talking about. And then obviously here's like the display of all the different like lethal tech that they're working on. You've got an outer portion that's like a rotunda. I think that's the right word. So you're definitely probably going to have like a spawn out here or something like that. And then you're going to work your way inside and then have like some walkways and stuff that are outside on the other side. Big statue here that you're going to have a lot of headies that you'll fight off of. Overall, I really like the aesthetic of this map. I like how bright it is. I like that it's outside, outdoors and indoors. A lot of the maps that I like in this game are outdoors and indoors where you can kind of do a little bit of both. And then the last map that's going to be in the beta is Toshin. I hope I'm saying that right. It might be Toshin. Core 6v6 medium-sized map. A monorail derailment has caused chaos downtown in a shopping district outside of the station. Neon lights illuminate the streets at every turn. A guild advertisement outshining all the others. Battle through the park and market. Look for upper vantage points across a central thoroughfare as you encounter new dangers at every road junction. You'll need street smarts and a fast trigger finger to conquer this urban map. So even though it's a medium-sized map, I'm really hoping this one has a lot of like close quarters fighting around a lot of these corners and stuff. I like the neon aesthetic, this kind of downtown, like maybe Japan look. This should be a really fun map to play on. If we look at the bigger version of this, there's going to be lots of like long range fights as well down these lanes here. And then hopefully some close quarters fights in and around here as well. All right, that's all the maps we're getting in the beta. We'll touch quickly on the rest of the maps. We'll just kind of go through them quickly. I won't read the whole description on all of them. We'll do that more once we get closer to launch. But for now, I really wanted to cover the beta maps that we're going to get. We're going to have Colossus, which is a medium-sized map. We're going to have Den. This one's interesting because this looks almost like a replica of the castle from Ashika Island. So maybe we're going to find out that they give that to us again. A lot of people want Ashika back if it has better lighting, and I'm gonna be honest, this looks like it has better lighting. Next, we've got Flagship. This looks like a multi-dimensional map where there's gonna be a lot of like up and down fights you can take. You're gonna climb some stuff and get up to the top of here, fight across it, fight down it. Lots of interesting stuff here. This might be my favorite map that we're getting. It's called Homestead. It's based in Alaska. It's a medium-sized map. It's reminiscent of some previous maps we've had that have been like outdoor snowy maps. Definitely gonna have a lot of fun in this. There's gonna be a lot of lanes and stuff. You could probably fight inside the house, under the bridge, all around the outside of the map. Should be a really fun map to play. And I just like the overall aesthetic of it. We're getting Paranoia. This one looks a little trippy with like a lot of like floating stuff. You've got like a inner office area and like a waiting room. Can't really tell much else from these images, but hopefully this will be a fun map to play. Then we got Retrieval. This is like a really outdoorsy map. You get the ice cave here, really bright skybox that should make this map really easy to see people on. Obviously more guild stuff here in the middle. Next we've got Scar, which is like an old Western style looking town. I believe based on the description, it's a rural Alaskan outpost. Definitely looks like it. Outdoorsy. Maybe you can run inside these little buildings here. Hopefully there will be a couple of places you can get in and out, but for the most part, a fairly outdoor map. Then we start to get the maps that are coming back from old games. We've got Express making its return. The train will be active, so you're gonna have to watch yourself as you cross the rails here. I think definitely a classic map. If you've played any Call of Duty at all, you've definitely played this map before. A lot of fun. Hijacked is coming back, probably one of the more iconic maps. Lots of like small area fights, a lot of close quarters fights here, a couple of different lanes you can fight down. And then we're getting Raid back. This is obviously a fan favorite. They're going to upgrade the look of it a little bit. But this map just plays so perfectly. The flow of this map's really good. It's not really a 3-lane map necessarily. There's kind of different aspects to it, but it just plays really well, and I'm excited to get this one back at launch. And then last, we've got the 220v20 skirmish maps that we're getting at launch. These are going to be much bigger maps. I would be surprised if they're not like kind of Rebirth Island size. Maybe not that big, but like they're going to be hefty size maps where you're getting 20. I mean, you're going to have 40 players on the map, so it's probably got to be close to Rebirth Island size. Lots of verticality, so you're going to be able to like zip up to roofs, jump off with wingsuits and everything. Definitely going to be an interesting mode. I'm interested to try and see what skirmish is like, but these bigger maps are going to be a lot of fun too. So this is Mission Edge. Definitely, like I said, there's going to be some big buildings you can zip to the top of. I don't know if you'll be able to play inside. Like this building here, it looks like there's a zip up to a mid-level and then a zip up to the top level. So maybe you can get in the mid-level and then play the top level and then probably not all the levels in between. But you can just see like there's stuff in here that we're not seeing, right? So I don't know if this building is the same thing as this building. It's hard to tell, but then you've got like this like Capitol style building that I don't see in any of the other images. So there's going to be lots going on these maps. And then we got Mission Tide, which is an Avalon POI. Obviously, hopefully we'll get Avalon as a Warzone map, but we don't know that for sure yet. But it's part of Avalon. It's on the coastal waters of Avalon. It's a military compound. You've got watchtowers on the corners here. You got these big walls that go all the way around it, and then you've obviously got these outer portions as well. This definitely feels like it's going to maybe be the size of when we had the Al Mazrah. What was it called? The little island on the south side of Al Mazrah that they turned into a resurgence map for a little bit. It looks like it's probably going to be about that size. And hopefully it'll play well. And again, we won't know until we get our hands on Skirmish in the 20v20 mode, but hopefully it's fun. And that's it for all of the maps. Like I said, we're getting 6 of them at the beta, and then we're getting the rest of them at launch. I think it's like 16 total maps plus the 2 20v20 maps. Supposedly everything we're hearing is that Black Ops 7 is going to give us a ton of content, a ton of maps, a ton of weapons, a ton of camos to grind. So this is a good sign that we're getting this many maps at the start, and it's a wide variety of maps as well. Now, if you made it to this part of the video, make sure you like the video, make sure you drop a sub. We're going to be covering everything Black Ops 7, everything Battlefield 6. We're going to be live here on YouTube every single day, along with my Twitch stream and my TikTok stream. We're going to be posting TikToks as well, and we're just going to be putting out a ton of content right here on YouTube. So make sure you lock in with us, and we'll see you guys in the next video.